All right, 29 days to Porto. So today makes 3 weeks that we have been doing this. And so I thought I'd do a wrap up of this last week. If you saw my video yesterday, I feel like this was a tough week. I mean, I didn't really, it was a hard week. It just kind of was. But, it's not like we didn't do anything. We did some things. And so this week I thought I'd go through and kind of see. I did have two tutoring sessions with Adriano in Portuguese, kind of trying to dust the cobwebs off on the Portuguese a little bit. And this week, I was good about the Portuguese. I mean, I am pretty good about the language part of it. I do a little Duolingo in Portuguese pretty much every day, and then I do a few other things. Watched. I started watching a Netflix series in Portuguese, and I watched about 15 or 20 minutes of it. I don't know. I might go back, but I started watching it and I thought, this is going to be insufferable. And it wasn't because of the language. It's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be one of those, just crazy, kind of plots. And I thought, this is just, it's going to drive you crazy. It's going to drive you crazy. And so I don't know. I might go back to try to listen to the Portuguese, but I thought, I this is going to drive you nuts. And so I only watched about 15 or 20 minutes of it, and then I turned it off. We'll see. I mean, it would be good for me to watch some stuff in TV. I did. I have watched on YouTube a couple of really short, maybe 5 minutes or less sections on news. It's actually, watching the news in another language when you're learning it, I think is often a really good thing to do. I think it's a lot easier than, a lot of people tell you to do comedies, and I don't understand that advice at all, because lots of times the comedy is based on playing words, and if you don't understand that, it doesn't make any sense. And so I think that, like, watching the news or something like that, or watching some of the YouTube easy languages videos, or those things are really much better. But the Portuguese, you know, I, I don't know how that's going to be. I mean, Adriano and I, when we chat, he's pretty good at trying to keep us having a conversation. And, he doesn't really let me just say, start using English words. It's like, what's the word? Describe what you want. Tell us what you're trying, describe what it is you're trying to say. If you can't think of the word, describe it instead of just saying another word. And, no pretenses at all. I am not fluent at all in Portuguese, but I am building confidence, and it's like, I can do this. I mean, um, I can have a good basic conversation um, in Portuguese. Not, you know, nothing crazy, but I can do it. Although I do wonder, because this is all Brazilian Portuguese, and we're going to Portugal, and so I don't know exactly how that's going to go. Adriano told me, he's like, since you speak Spanish, honestly, I think it won't be a problem, because I guess Portuguese in Portugal sounds a lot more like Spanish, I think, if I'm understanding that correctly. So the Portuguese is going okay. I haven't really done much with the dancing this week. I did some, but not much. I just, it was kind of a nonstop week, from morning till night. I just had so much going on. I felt like I was having a hard time getting anything going. So dancing, no bueno. Um, Portuguese, pretty good. Uh, the the exercise part was not good. Although today I got up and I thought, you know what? Okay, so you fell off the horse. Get back up on the horse, and let's start working on this again. So I did work out today, and that made me feel good. And I did walk today. So I walked twice this week. Twice. Yeah, I think only twice. It was raining there for a few days, and I didn't really want to walk in the rain, which, being wimpy, I just didn't feel like it. So I didn't. But I did walk today, and I walked 4 miles, and that felt really good. It felt really good. Which is kind of, well, I was trying to get to where I felt like I could comfortably walk 5 or 6 miles a day. And I think that's going to be very doable, But here's the thing. Okay, so the working out went well, the walking went well. Also, which is just one of those things I mentioned a week or so ago. It occurred to me, one thing I need to think about is sun. I don't go. I have not been good about getting outside, and I'm very. You're looking at me. You can see I'm very pale. I'm very, very pale. And for a while after cancer, I wasn't supposed to really go outside. I mean, going outside was sort of okay, but I wasn't really supposed to be around other people very much. And so I stayed home most of the time and I didn't get out. So that's another thing. I'm trying to get out, get in some sunlight, trying to do that. I'd like to try to get like a little bit of a base layer of tan, because it occurred to me, I could really have a problem. I could get really badly sunburned. And so I've been going out, trying to get out in the sun, trying to, and I've been trying to get as much sun as possible. So I've been, I think it's been kind of scary for the other people in the park, but I have been walking without my shirt to try to get as much sun as I could, and wearing shorts to try to really try to get some sun. And the other part of that, and this is a separate issue. I mean, it feeds into this, but for health reasons, I like, with the cancer and everything else, and this has gotten much better, but I was having a real problem with having sufficient vitamin D. And the vitamin D is important for a lot of reasons. You hear about rickets and that kind of stuff, but for me, it was like bone density. So, like with the cancer and with the things like that, it affects your bone density. And so, to maintain your bone density, you need to have adequate calcium, and you need to have adequate vitamin D. So it's like, I really need to work on this. So I have done those things. I got some exercise. I got some time in the sun. I didn't do much dance, but I did a little bit. Probably the best thing has been working on the Portuguese. I have been doing that. I haven't worked anymore on clothes. I don't know how much I'm going to do with that. I think there are a few things I probably have to get. Like, I probably need to get a different pair of shoes, and I probably need to get, I'm sure I need to get a new belt. The other stuff I think is okay. I don't, so here's the other thing is, even though we had 50 days, we're 3 weeks past that now. So we're almost halfway there. It's about 4 weeks from today. There's like 1 day difference there because of the way that the countdown is, but I believe it's 4 weeks from today is the date of the wedding. And so I have some things to figure out for getting ready for the wedding. And not only that, but in terms of these videos as well, because I have a trip I have to take to DC in about a week, and I'll be there for almost a week. And so I lose a week in there, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to handle that. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I haven't got that figured out. And so then I come back, and it's only about a week more before we go to Portugal. And I'll be in Portugal a few days. I think I get there 3 days before the wedding. So we'll be in Portugal a few days before the wedding, and hopefully we'll get a little bit. I think that'll be fun. We'll probably have some videos of Porto and a few things like that. Some videos of the wedding, some videos of the parties, some videos of family, that kind of stuff. I think that'll be kind of fun. But things are, it's one of those things. It's kind of like, I just sort of need to start planning for it, because it's going to start happening fast. it's gonna get here before we know it. I mean, so I have 2 trips. Both of them are about a week, and they're coming up real fast. So that's kind of my summary of week 3. If you watched yesterday's video, I was kind of down last night. I thought, golly, man, this is hard. And I'm still working on this. I think the hardest part of it is doing the videos every day. The other stuff I could probably, do. But I think getting the video out every day, it's hard to set up a video series where you have to post every day, which is what the 50 Days channel is all about. And I think I just have to learn better how to do this stuff. So anyway, that's sort of my summary for week 3. We get into, so tomorrow, this is day 29 until the day of the wedding. And we get down to 28 tomorrow, and we are almost to that halfway point to the wedding. So a few things. I don't know if any of you guys are watching and like, are there some songs that I should know? Maybe I need to learn to sing a song. That would really be something. One thing I thought that I would do is I thought it would be good to work on a possible toast for the dinner or for the wedding day. Another thing, which I probably need some help from my family members on this, is kind of, go down memory lane and try to come up with a few stories about Brian for the wedding that might be fun in a very loving way. I mean, I want it to be fun. I want it to be funny. I do not want them to be mean. I want to be very careful that we're not like that we're doing stuff where we are kind of laughing together and not laughing at him. And so I think it would be fun if we could come up with a few stories so that I have a little bit of time in case I need to learn some vocabulary or something like that to be able to tell some of those stories. So, all right, my friends, that's it for 50 Days to Porto. When we get to Porto, I think that'll be really fun. I think you guys will enjoy that. I have a few tours. I've kind of mentioned them on the video that I am kind of interested in doing when we're there. They're pretty affordable. But I'm hesitant to book them yet because my family members who are going to the wedding will be there too. And it's like, should I be booking things? I mean, maybe I should be talking to them to see if they're interested in any of these and us all doing them together. There's also part of me that's like, well, if they don't want to do them, I may still want to do them. which kind of makes me the antisocial one, I guess. It's one of the things, and it's a very natural thing to do. I totally understand everybody wanting to do this, but it's a wine region, and some of the stuff that I'm seeing, there are these beautiful vineyards in the city, the Douro Valley, just all this beautiful stuff, and they make wine there. They're in particular known for making port. Port wine is made in this region, in Porto, in the Douro Valley. And so there are a lot of wine tours. And I totally get that they would all like to go on wine tours. But I don't drink anymore. And I'm like, spending all day with everybody, just with all of them drinking wine, and me just kind of, hey, well, okay, I don't know about that, but anyway. All right, that's it, my friends. Have a great evening, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for day 28 in our countdown to Porto. Take care. Bye.